Welcome everyone to today's special council meeting. I am the Mayor, Councillor Georgina Papafodio. I declare this meeting open at 5 p.m. In the unlikely event of an emergency, please follow the direction of council officers and the emergency procedures on the wall near the door. I would like to note that I've given approval for Channel 31 to audio and video record this meeting. This special council meeting has been called to consider council's response to the COVID-19 pandemic and unprecedented public health, social and economic crisis happening across the world. The health and wellbeing and safety of our residents and staff has remained and continues to remain the first priority of Brimbank City Council. That is why Council is calling on everyone to do their bit to combat the spread of COVID-19 by remaining at home, avoiding all non-essential travel, strictly observing social distancing rules and prioritising cleanliness and hygienic practices. This is a crucial first step all of us can take to help protect our most vulnerable, including our 37,000 local residents aged over 60, our nearly 8,000 residents employed in the health and social services sector, and other frontline workers in the education and essential retail sectors. I would like to pay tribute to all the local residents, including council staff, who have remained on the front line during this pandemic, with particular thanks to our Brimbank healthcare workers who place themselves at a greater risk to serve others. Unfortunately, Brimbank is particularly vulnerable to both the health and economic effects of a prolonged COVID-19 crisis. Against the state average, we experienced increased health and mental health issues, higher than average unemployment, lower than average household income and lower than average educational outcomes. That is why, along with the welcome of the federal and state government health and economic packages that have been announced to date, Council's decision making today will help support our community through the response and recovery phases of COVID-19. So with that reminder of the importance of today's meeting, let us get to the business at hand. Item 1, please stand for the acknowledgement of country. On behalf of Brimbank City Council, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land and pay our respects to elders, to the Wurundjeri people, and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Thank you. I ask councillors to remain standing for the council commitment. Everyone else may be seated. As a council, we will act in the best interests of the Brimbank community and consider the immediate and long-term impacts of our decisions. We will make these decisions fairly and without bias. We will uphold all of our obligations under the laws of Victoria and Council's local laws, and we will act in accordance with our Code of Conduct. Thank you. Item 3, closure of council meeting to the public. May I have a mover of a motion to close the special council meeting to the public?
So moved, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Goodchair. Could you please state the motion?
As printed in the business papers, thanks, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. May I have a seconder? Councillor Takos. I will put the motion to a vote. Those in favour? Against? Carried. Item 4, apologies and leave of absence. I note that Councillor Allen has submitted an apology for today's meeting. Item 5, disclosure of conflicts of interest. Are there any declarations of conflicts of interest? Thank you. Item 6, officer reports. There is one officer report for consideration by Council this evening. This report is the Coronavirus COVID-19 Response Strategy. Councillors, I would not usually introduce a report, but given the extraordinary nature of this meeting and the report before us, it is most appropriate that it be introduced from the Chair. The Brimbank Council Coronavirus COVID-19 Response and Recovery Strategy has been developed to help limit the impact on our most vulnerable residents, families, businesses, cultural groups, artistic and sporting groups across the municipality. The strategy has been designed to complement the major federal and state government response packages, as well as align with local and regional service networks and providers who we are directly working with. Brimbank's strategy has been designed as a strategic foundation to address a constantly changing environment, providing the agility to respond to emerging local issues and to accommodate further federal and state announcements. Brimbank's COVID-19 response and recovery strategy includes 5 key pillars, which will be delivered over 2 staged phases. First pillar, a health and wellbeing response. Second, a community support response, including financial hardship and resource relief. Third, an economic development and local business response. Fourth, an economic support response. And lastly, a communications, advocacy and engagement response. The details are contained within the report, but key initiatives amongst many others include a new COVID-19 financial hardship policy to help local businesses, residents and ratepayers who are struggling financially, along with rates, charges and fee review to further reduce financial pressure. Next, expanding council's aged, home care, community register and Meals on Wheels programs, including 1,500 additional meals over this initial response phase. Next, innovative service delivery models as we design new ways to keep council services flowing to our communities during this time of social distancing and restrictions. Developing a support package for local sporting clubs. A revised Brimbank Community Recovery Grant Program. And lastly, establishing a Brimbank COVID-19 Business Response and Recovery Task Force. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank the CEO, my fellow councillors, the council executive team and all our staff in developing this strategy for our review this evening. Thank you, councillors, and I highly commend this report for your consideration and adoption. Councillors, are there any questions for the CEO or any points of clarification? Is there a motion?
I'll move the recommendation, Madam Mayor, as printed in the business papers.
Thank you, Councillor Goodchair. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Borg. Would the mover like to speak?
Just quickly, Madam Mayor, I think that you have captured everything in your a great introduction there. I'm baffled for words. In all my years on council, I have never seen anything like this before. I call on everyone in the community to listen to what we are supposed to be doing, and that way maybe we'll come out of this better off than some of our European counterparts overseas. The other thing also is that I'd like to thank the CEO and the executive management team, all of the councillors and all of the staff who are doing such a wonderful job. And now, right now, Madam Mayor, we need to trust our CEO and the staff to know that they are doing the right thing by our residents, spending our ratepayers' money where it should be spent, and that is for the benefit of the residents of Brimbank. I wish everyone well, Madam Mayor, and for everyone to stay safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Goodchair. Would the seconder like to speak?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. First of all, I would like to share my thoughts with Councillor Judy J during these difficult times. I don't think there is a family that is not affected in some way or another. I suppose we are all affected to some extent or another. And I would like to say that my thoughts are very much with the members of the community who perhaps are doing it much harder than others. And it's great to see Council bringing to Council this strategy, which is so appropriate at such a difficult time. I would like to thank again the Brimbank COVID response coordination team that has been meeting daily, from my understanding, engaging and consulting internally and externally in relation to the development of the strategy, the CEO, the EMT, and all the other staff members. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the members of the community who are really doing the right thing by taking the precautions and the steps that we need to take to make sure that we stay safe and the rest of the community stays safe. So I really want to congratulate everyone, and I want to wish everyone in the community, in the council, and beyond all the best during this difficult time. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Borg. Any other speakers? Councillor Hedge.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to say a few words about the crisis we're in and echo the sentiments that you and other councillors have put already tonight. It's in times of crisis like this that local councils are more important than ever. Leadership and communication is vital as well, and I want to congratulate the CEO and the Mayor in particular for the constant communication that's been going on a number of issues around the place of late, and we look forward to hearing more and more over the coming months as this crisis unfolds and Council responds to it. Councils also have the potential to facilitate and activate community responses at a grassroots level that fill the gaps with what's coming from federal and state governments at the moment. They can make this gap filling can make a real difference to people's lives, and the whole community. It can strengthen the community in many different ways, and it demonstrates yet again the value of local level responses and local government in crises like these. Brimbank Council, congratulations to the CEO and the staff. They've done a fabulous job in developing up a strategy that has 5 elements, 5 themes, and a number of response initiatives that are bare bones at the moment, many of them, and they require fleshing out, and the Council has really looked to pull community and business and everyone together with Council to develop it up and flesh it out into the future. So congratulations to Council for that. I think it also shows the importance of co-design, so we look forward to that process rolling out and that the community and others getting engaged in it. I think the strategy itself tonight has been a big job to produce. It's taken some time, but there's a spirit of goodwill in it. And it's obvious to people that I've been speaking to over the weekend, business leaders and community leaders and so on, that we have a real opportunity here to do some really good work over the coming period of time. So let's take it. A few administrative points I'd like to make. I make them with all due respect to the CEO and others who produced this. Tonight we consider a strategy without a fund source, without estimated costings or timelines or service levels identified, and without knowledge of the 2021 budget implications. That will come in the next version, I know that, and the CEO's already assured us of that. So I think that there are points that need to be made. That the strategy has a life from 6th of April to 30th of June, so we'll have constant approvals to make going forward. And I also wanted to thank the Albion community who've given us an exemplar of what can be done. They letterboxed 2,300 houses over the weekend and got 10 people volunteering to come forward to help them with their local grassroots initiatives, and no responses from the community as yet. So I think there's been some fabulous work done, and I wanted to just congratulate everyone who's been involved in this process from start to now.
Councillor Hedge, would you like one more minute?
I would like about 10-20 seconds, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. I think that the effort and the energy that's gone in, these are difficult times, and Community looks to council for leadership. It looks to council for some thought leadership and also some action leadership, and it's great to see all the work that staff have been doing, ringing, library services, various other services all happening. It's just been fabulous to see. So congratulations to all involved. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep the energy up. Let's keep the communications and the leadership flowing. We'll have a great outcome for Brimbank if we do, because at the end of the day, we are Brimbank, and everything that the community does behind this just demonstrates how good a community this really is. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hettich. Any other speakers? Councillor Tarkos?
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd also like to reiterate what's been said before me by all the councillors. I'd like to say that this package is an important start in dealing with an uncertain and uncharted times that we are currently facing, in offering stage 1 tranche of options for rate relief. This is something that's been called by a lot of our residents: relief for sporting clubs, supporting local businesses, extension of community grants, registration fees on hold, etc. For me, I believe the area of community grants as a local council is an area that we need to refocus on, and to directly look at it as supporting small to medium businesses that have suffered really badly, and many, as we have known, have closed their doors. We don't know if it's temporary or permanently. This is a very sad time for businesses. They're unable to sustain employment. Moving forward into the recovery and rebuilding, I think council can assist with stimulus via the community grants programs, as well as in line with what the state and federal government are currently offering in partnership in regards to wage subsidies to retain existing staff or re-employ staff once the recovery kicks in. And I think that's where council has to work in tandem with the state and federal government to align what's available, what we have perhaps through grants, and what the state and federal government has to sustain employment. I commend this council, I commend the executive, the mayor and the council, my fellow councillors, in dealing with this crisis in innovative ways by offering as much as it can in online and remote and innovative library services, for example, and hope we can continue to look at ways that we can build on this throughout the lockdown period, as well as moving into the recovery phase. And finally, Madam Mayor, it is important that our community still feels that council is present in their lives, and that offline does not mean we are closed, but that we are doing things differently and safely and in accordance with the social distancing safety regulations. However, we are continuing to deliver our essential services, realigning certain projects and programs to increase mobile services, and will realign again when we enter the recovery phase. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tarkos. Do I have any other speakers? Councillor Trung?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you very much for all the hard work from CEO, the Mayor, and executive team and other councillors. I really pray for other council already bring up a lot of issues regarding about the difficult time for one of us. I just would like to add on. It's the bright if we have the more support and have for the council a home care or the meal on wheel, but we have to look at it's like in Brimbank we have a large number of the cow community and a lot of elderly people live alone. They have struggle. They feel very nervous, and also all the service we provide, they can't, get involved or have the support. Like they can order like the food online or how to get on the meal on wheel. That is the service they need something that have. And other thing is like we have in the several time I have a lot of contact from the people. They are not the president or the citizenship Australia, but they live in Brimbank.
Councillor Trull, could you please refer more to the report?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think we try to do a lot of things to support, but like other councillor mentioned, is the travel with the business people and also the president, and also for the elderly people, we need more help and more support directly and especially for the cow community. They know it's something to provide support from the local, from the government, but they struggle to don't know how they can help, they can receive help or support. So I think we should look up in this area too. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Trull. That information is available in the report. Thank you. Any other councillors? All right, I'll put the motion to a vote. Those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you all for attending and for your interest in today's meeting. I declare this meeting closed at 5:21. Thank you.